Hey everyone.
Hey bag ladies and bag dudes, I'm Sarah Lawson from Soul Sweetness. This is my husband Danny and you're watching Ask Sarah, my weekly Q&A chat. Welcome everybody to Ask Sarah. Violet actually just jetted out of there. Violet sets up our Tuesday shows. She's 10 years old, and when Danny runs the introduction for the show, then Violet gets on out of here. So thanks Violet, see you later. I see Doreen's watching from New York City. How do you pronounce that? Oh, it went by already. Maite, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, from Florida. Patricia's watching from Texas. Beth from Detroit. So everyone, welcome to Ask Sarah. We were actually talking just before the show started. Danny said he was feeling a little bit tired, and he said it was from lack of caffeine from soda. And I was just laughing, and I said, well, you had some with dinner yesterday. And then what did you say?
That Sarah was not listening completely because I said I have a headache, not I'm tired from like caffeine. So
Well, it's both,
yeah,
right? Technically a little bit of both.
No. I'm not tired right now, at least.
Well, I was laughing, and he said, why are you laughing? You know, it's similar to drinking coffee. We don't drink coffee in this house, so I don't have a comparison of drinking coffee, but it was just funny to me, you know, going less than 24 hours without any soda pop, and he's not feeling so good. Speaking of not feeling good, I'm feeling totally zapped this evening. Not quite the same thing as tired. I don't know, around 4 o'clock this evening, I started feeling like, I don't know, just like almost like a sucker punch. Like it just hit me really fast and hard. And for sure, after the show tonight, I'm getting right into bed, which I admit is not different than my usual because I like going to bed early. And I'm going to watch This Is Us with Violet. By the way, who watches This Is Us? I admit I started watching it last year, and I thought it was going to be a gimmick of a TV show, but it's one of my favorites, and I love it, and I love the personal stories and how they throw brand new mystery surprises into the show every week and tell the history of all the characters. Anyway, about feeling zapped, I was going over my outline before the show, and I realized maybe part of the problem my energy level's low is because lately I've been using this daylight sunlight light in my studio. I use it for about 30 minutes every day, and I turn it on in the morning when I start working. My friend Teresa actually told me about it, so I thought I'd pull it out, and I'm not trying to sell these, but I just thought maybe it might help somebody else. And I know Danny thinks it's kind of like sort of like a placebo type of thing, right? Is that what you think about it? No other comments than that?
Yes, it is what I think about it.
So the reason that I haven't been turning it on the last couple days is because I cleaned the studio, and I like having a lot of desk space, and I like my desk to be totally cleared, and I just had too much clutter on the desk. So this was on the desk, and I found a different home for it, but because it's not on the desk anymore, I forget to turn it on. So basically, you just turn it on, and there's the light. It simulates daylight. So in the winter, I find it helpful because especially in Chicago, we don't get a lot of days with sunlight. Can you remember the last day we had sunlight?
Last week.
Last week. So that's a long time. So I turn this on for 30 minutes in the morning, and then it's off the rest of the day.
That's like sunny sunlight. We have sunlight every day. It's just, it's cloudy and
it's
overcast.
cloudy. It's been overcast a lot. So I felt like, whether it be a placebo effect or not, I felt like lately I've been feeling better. Felt like I had more energy, and when I was deciding to purchase this, by the way, this is by Verilux. I don't know if I said. Verilux is the company that makes this, in case you want to investigate it further. But on the website, it said not only it simulates the daylight to kind of enhance your mood and give you energy, but it also supposedly helps you sleep better, because having daylight every day, or as much as you can, is what helps you sleep better. And I am a chronic poor sleeper, so I thought anything that can help me sleep a little better, I'm in. So anyway, I'll keep this on the desk, and I'll see if I can remember to turn it on tomorrow. But yeah, need a little bit more energy for tomorrow. I admit I did have my riding lesson this morning, but normally I'm not so tired after the lesson, even though it is kind of a workout. So speaking of This Is Us, another favorite of my TV shows is starting season 2 tomorrow. And I don't know if you have Amazon Prime, but this show's called The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and it's starting again tomorrow, and I cannot wait. Like, I'm working on a new pattern, and I'm looking forward to just watching all of the episodes at once. Hopefully I can fit them all in tomorrow while I'm working. I see you have a comment queued up.
Yeah, I was going to let you finish.
Okay. No, it's okay. Yeah.
Send it through?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Sarah, I think, misinterprets when I say something. It's not necessarily a placebo effect. What I like to explain is we have enormous amount of lighting in our office. It's a small 10 by 11 area. If you wanted daylight, our lights emit natural daylight. They're 4,000 Kelvin. You turn that thing on, you have the exact same light. If that light, when I say it's placebo, it's like if you want that normal light, you just turn that light on, you'll have the exact same effect to me. Like we have a bearded dragon that uses a special light bulb that emits I forget what vitamin whatever.
UVA and UVB.
Yeah,
UVA.
and that lasts only 6 months, and then you have to replace it. So if this bulb was one to be where it'd give you like vitamins and stuff like that, that would be something you'd have to replace at a certain period of time. This was not inexpensive, and I feel like you can get the same effect from your other lights in the house. I totally agree. If you need lighting, change your spirit, your mood, your everything. But do you need this one that's particularly expensive, or can you use other ones that you have available?
Yeah, and to clarify, Danny was not saying that there is no such thing as seasonal disorder, because it's definitely a thing. He was just, when I got the light, he kind of sort of...
I'm a man of like science. I like facts. So if it's factually working, there'll be proof of it, and there's research going on and everything. So for this particular individual item, I'm not saying the light deal. I'm talking about just that individual item.
Yeah, I often cannot win an argument with you because, like you said, you like to back yourself up with facts, and I'm often an emotional person, and so I back myself up with feeling or how I feel about something, or if I'm like, yeah, I just have this feeling in my gut, and you're like, and then you pull out the fact sheet and you're like, yeah, well, that can't work because this, and you throw out some numbers, and I'm like, me also not being a math person, I'm like, darn it, he shot me down again. So sometimes I don't win. Sometimes I do, though, right? Most of the time. What's that
I
thing
agree to disagree.
What's that thing you always tell people?
Happy husband, happy life or something.
No.
I think it goes like that.
Be honest. What do you honestly tell people?
I don't tell anyone anything ever. I keep to myself. My friends say that, Danny, you should speak up more. Your wife's very demanding. I'm like, I know. I'm just trying to take it easy. You know, she's a great lady.
No, he always tells people happy wife, happy life. So when, like, say, when we were working on having our siding done in the roof, when maybe a contractor or someone would ask Danny's opinion on the color of the siding, for instance, he'd kind of gesture to me as you know, the
let her make the
decision maker, and then he would follow that up with happy wife, happy life, meaning, you know.
Decisions like that don't matter so much to me. You know, if you like it, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm
for most things, actually.
Don't you agree that I'm kind of the same way too?
Yeah,
for a lot of stuff,
which
I guess is why it works most
very
of the
similar,
time, right?
Yeah, and we think similar, so I'm just more factual and you're more emotional, I guess.
All right, so let's get on to on the Tuesday show, your second favorite part of the show. We're going to ask all the bag ladies and bag dudes to let us know in the comments. So go ahead and type, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and type in bag lady or bag dude in the comments right now. And we can see all the comments coming through on Danny's laptop. So I love seeing all the bag ladies and bag dudes, the comments come through. So thank you so much for being part of the community. We love you guys. We love that you watch the show and participate in the Facebook group. So thank you so much. I was floating an idea also to Danny before the show because ideas come to me randomly. And the way this particular idea came to me was because someone emailed me earlier today, and they had a few things that they wanted to tell me, but they also recommended a sewing-themed fiction book. And I said, oh, thank you for the recommendation. And as soon as I sent the email, I was like, wait a second. That sounds really interesting. What could I do with that? A sewing-themed book, like a fiction book, you know, not like a manual or anything like that. And so I floated the idea of maybe a book club, like an occasional book club where we would talk about that month's book or however often we do this, a sewing-themed fiction book, and not have it be like a whole big thing like the full-out Tuesday show, but maybe half of it, or a small portion of the Tuesday show or half of it, where we would talk about that month's book. And granted, many of these books can be taken out from the library. But anyway, I thought it would be really interesting because after that particular email, I went on Amazon and I was just browsing around for sewing-themed or seamstress-themed fiction books. And there's actually a lot of them. And I found one or two series of books that have something to do with sewing or quilting. So I thought it would be cool. I wasn't sure though. Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts about having a book club once in a while. I find that I'm often more motivated to do things when I'm doing it with somebody else. So even reading a book or working on a project, such as like a sew along or quilt along, oftentimes it's easier to get motivated to do it, or even more fun if other people are doing it along with me. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about book club. Maybe we'll turn it into something. Thought it would be fun to have giveaways also, to give away like copies of that month's book before we get started. And then we could just talk about it, talk about things we liked. And definitely for sure, if we did go along with this whole book club idea, I'd for sure read the books first, because I would not want to have a book club month where the book is just kind of, not so good. So I would definitely read those first to make sure. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. And now take it away. You have the floor. Danny's pick of the week.
I was like, where are we going with this one? Because I was going to post a comment. I saw, before we do my pick of the week,
okay.
I saw a comment. It was from, let me pull it up because comments are going through really quickly. If I don't find it, I'll just read. It was from Renee Manadice, and he was saying, I saw it on Social Sunday, but we ran out of time. We couldn't post a question. Okay. And it was, how about doing a vanity license plate for So Sweetness, bag lady, bag dude. Certain states you don't need to have a front license plate. You put that in the front of your card and you have it. And he asked again, so I didn't want to feel like you're being left out. So I figured, let Sarah address that.
Wait, what was the question?
For a vanity license plate for a vehicle.
What about it? Oh,
like a bag lady, bag dude, So Sweetness.
Oh, you mean to have it made, or?
Yeah, for you to sell them. I assume that's his...
Oh, like an actual license plate. I was thinking, sorry, I wasn't trying to act like I was not paying attention to your question, but when you said license plate, I was thinking of like license plate printed on a fabric, and the reason that I thought of that is because there's this whole thing every year called Row by Row, where Quilt Shops actually prints license plates with often sewing themed, I don't know what you call it, what you put on the license plate. Okay. Danny, how about bag lady, bag dude license plates? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So this would actually be a license plate. Because I was thinking of the row by row thing, but I don't think that's what this comment was in reference to. That sounds really interesting. Can you actually have a license plate like that?
Certain states you can't. Illinois, you cannot.
Oh, okay. So it's only certain states.
Right.
Very interesting. I don't know. I'll write that down. I guess the reason I wouldn't have thought of that is because, like you said, we can't have that in Illinois. Interesting. Very interesting.
Or a window sticker, someone says.
Good idea. Or a window.
Susan Parker.
A window cling. Oh, window clings would be really awesome. Or
license plate frame.
These days don't they have magnets,
stickers.
Bumper stickers, but they're magnets, so you don't have to worry about ruining your paint.
Well, most bumpers are not metal anymore. They're fiberglass.
Oh, okay. So
it'd go some Ross on your vehicle if you were to put it on there.
Oh, okay. Window clings. Oh, that's a great idea. Awesome. Yep. Thanks so much for the comments. I'm glad you found that and put it up on the screen.
Okay, so my pick of the week is Mary Schlecht. She made the Day Trip planner, is that right? Day Trip
cell phone wallet from Minikin Season 2. It's one of the patterns in Minikin Season 2. I was close.
But she put a cool D-ring in the middle so you can attach your keys. I like that with purses, and I tell Sarah, we're doing the purses and she's designing stuff. I'm like, Sarah, why don't you put the key fob holder inside the bag? Sarah, why don't you put an additional zipper in there? Why don't you put this there? She's like, well, my bags are general constructions, and you can pick as you like to enhance it. So I have a lot of videos out there. You can put a drop, zipper lining, whatever technical term. But I've said it all the time. Like, Sarah, why don't you put this in there? She's like, well, they can put that in there if they choose to, but I'd like to make it simple so everyone has an opportunity to finish the bag. And if you want to spice it up, you can.
I'm laughing because I feel like you kind of put words in my mouth. I didn't say exactly that in response.
What'd you say?
So this whole thing came about is because I'm currently working on the one strap backpack. I'm almost done. I have like 10 steps left to sew it together. So it's like almost complete. And while I was working on that pattern, Danny suggested like 4 or 5 different things.
I have some great ideas. Let me just tell you.
He suggested like 4 or 5 different things I should add into the backpack, like types of pockets and different things. And I said, that's fine. However, adding those things that you suggested would put this pattern at probably like 100 steps. And so I'm very conscious. I've learned things over the years of designing patterns, and I can see what people make a lot of and what people don't make as much of. And I'm not saying I don't want to put special features in the bags for you, but we can't have so many that the pattern is so long. It's so hard to make, and because some people are making these bags to sell them, and so you can't be spending like 20 hours on a bag that you'll sell for like $100 or $150. So I'm thinking of a lot of different things when I'm designing bags, and I know it's different for you. You're just suggesting things that would be cool. So
Well, I see all the tutorials we made, for the zipper, for adding purse straps or whatever. We have a lot of videos. Someone asked for they need, videos to do that stuff. We have videos that show you how to add that stuff to bags. And I know just from making those videos, it seemed like they're not too crazy to add those individual items.
However, it's always nicest to have whatever certain details in the pattern so that you don't have to add extra things or figure things out yourself, even though there might not be a lot of figuring. So Karen says you should add Danny's suggestions at the end of each pattern. That's a good idea. I kind of like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Or do you remember what you were suggesting for the backpack?
Yeah, a couple different things. Should we go over them now?
Do you remember?
Do we have enough time?
If you remember.
Yeah, well, one was the cell phone holder at the top of the bag, so you can
Right.
a little zipper, so you can drop your cell phone at the very top. So if you have headphones, you can listen. It's close for your cable. Two was on the back part on your back. It was more of like a drop-in pocket with no zipper. So if you had something quick access, yeah, the key fob thing. That was, I think that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you down, but I had specific reasons for doing so.
Yeah, I get that. That's why.
One being, I know you wanted the cell phone to go in a pocket on the strap, but...
No, I'm not on the bag. I wanted it.
Oh, on the bag?
Yeah, the top of the bag.
I guess I misunderstood. I thought that was a whole separate edition.
No, I showed you on the bag, the very top of the neck of it.
All right. Anyway, I think we're taking this...
I said, is there enough time? All right, guys, we're out of time for the show this week.
We're taking we're taking this longer than I intended. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Hey, you opened that
yeah,
can of worms up. I'll tell you.
Pandora's box. Anyway, we'd like to ask you now if you enjoy our live shows. If you're watching on Facebook, to go ahead and hit the share button right now. What would Danny do? I like that. If you're watching on Facebook, if you enjoy our videos, if you could hit the share button right now. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're not already, if you would like to subscribe to our YouTube channel, you could go ahead and hit the subscribe button right now. Regardless, however you like to watch, if you could at least hit the like button, which is a little picture of a thumbs up. The likes and shares help us out so much, so thank you so much for doing that. We really appreciate it.
I think this is a cool idea.
Carrie says maybe you could do one special edition bag each year that is advanced level with lots of special features. I like that idea.
I love that idea.
I super
Even
love
though I don't
that.
make bags, but I like, all the bells and whistles, and that's what that sounds like.
Danny's special edition. Danny will give me all the list of things to do, and I'll look over his list. No, that's not feasible. That's impossible.
Let's do it. I've seen you do it, Sarah.
Oh, good one.
Little
good
duct
one.
tape and WD-40. We can make anything work.
All right, so let's get over to some questions. So if you have a question for me, let me know in the comments, either sewing related, a question about a notion or tool, bag making related. Go ahead and type your question out right now in the comments, and I'll answer as many questions as I can live. Mary Ann says, will you be keeping your P.O. box open to receive Christmas cards? Oh, I didn't even think about that, but that's a good question. So my postal box is paid for through February 5th, so technically I'm just telling people end of January since that's pretty close to February 5th. I had a minimum, I think it was a 3-month commitment for the box, so that's why it's open that long. But yeah, Christmas, wow, I didn't even think about that. But it's funny because I went into the postal box today, and when you have a package, obviously my box is really small. It's like this big. They don't put the package in the box, but they put a little slip of paper with your box number, and you sign the slip and you give it to the person working the counter, and then they bring out your packages. And so when I handed my little slip over, the guy saw the postal box number on the slip, and he said, oh, you're the postcard girl, because they were asking me, every time I go in there, they're like, why are you getting so many postcards and happy birthday, because they can see people have written happy birthday on some of the postcards, and they have a lot of questions about that. So I feel like it's a big mystery, and they're really curious about the
they're like, what's
the
going on? Who are you?
postcards.
Or,
Yeah,
why are you getting so many stuff?
Why are you so special? Why are you
what's
getting
going
so
on?
many
Yeah.
postcards? So yes, that will be open till the end of January for the postal box. Kim says, Danny, would the day trip wallet work for two-way radio? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, two-way radio. It's like, the common ones you see. We have like Motorola.
Do you know how big those are?
Yeah,
if
it's
it would
roughly
fit?
like this big and like that thick. You could say if it's gonna fit.
Oh, it's thick though.
It's that and it's like that thick, yeah.
Oh, I don't think it would work then in the day trip.
You know best.
Well, it's hanging right there. It's with the unicorn on it.
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, you want to take it.
Probably fit right there.
You want to take it down so.
So
This is the bag she was talking about, the day trip cell phone wallet.
now this pocket here possibly could fit. I don't know how big they are currently. When I was a kid, when my dad had one, but it was probably about that thick and that long.
Do you think they've changed since then? Or
Technology
possibly,
makes
or
everything more streamlined, to be honest. So I'm not sure. This pocket, I think, pretty sure could fit it.
a two-way radio?
Yeah, but I don't think the inside here.
Well, no, wouldn't they use that?
Actually,
as the
that
wallet?
would fit. I mean, we'd have the antenna come out.
Oh,
You could have it here, put the antenna, like zip it here and let the antenna come out like this.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure it will fit in there.
Okay.
We can measure it. If you want to send it a certain email, I'll measure it exactly. And I'll make a little box.
Yeah, just let us
mock-up,
know
and
the
I'll throw it
measurements.
inside there.
Let us know the measurements of your two-way radio because we don't have one here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. I get so inspired on the Facebook page when people share their modifications to Sarah's patterns. Would love to see the bag done with Danny's suggestions. That's good. I like that one. Giving Danny too much control over here. Susan says, how do you keep Peltex from getting really wrinkly when turning it right side out? So for that exact reason, I usually like to use sew-in Peltex. And I like to cut it a 1/2 inch smaller, minus the seam allowance. So whatever the seam allowance is for the pattern you're working on. So if the pattern seam allowance is 1/2 inch seam allowance, the Peltex would be cut 1/2 inch smaller on all sides to reduce bulk in the seam. And then I usually attach it to my fabric using Pella Shapeflex, which is fusible woven interfacing. I cut the Shapeflex to the same size as the fabric. Because the Peltex is sandwiched in between the two, the interfacing and the fabric, and it's cut smaller. When I fuse the Shapeflex to the wrong side of the fabric, it fuses the Peltex in along the outer margins, and then even though it's a sew-in interfacing, you've sort of fused it to your fabric. So that's how I like to use it, and that really eliminates any wrinkles because you don't have the Peltex attached to your fabric.
Before you answer the next one,
Yes,
are you done?
I think so.
Okay, someone mentioned they switched over to YouTube and they got a notification. I'll tell you what, the past week I also started getting notifications again from YouTube. If you want to watch their shows and you forget about it, if you do follow us on YouTube and you hit the little bell next to it, 30 minutes before each show, you'll get a little, I can even probably show you my phone.
So what was the comment that you...
They said they got a notification.
Oh, you're saying that they got it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see top of my phone. If I slide it down, it actually says, hey, Sarah Sweetness, or Sarah Lawson's on.
I'll be right back. I'm going to grab my Instant Pot.
Yeah.
You can keep talking about
Yeah,
that.
so I got this notification. I'll turn it sideways. You can see it a little bit. It says, hey, she's coming on in 30 minutes. And right from this notification, I could play, turn it off, watch later, it says. Very cool thing. So if you are forgetting about watching it, definitely give it a shot on YouTube. YouTube does stream in higher quality as well. I know some people may or may not use it, but YouTube, we can stream at 1080p quality versus Facebook is only 720. And they're talking about moving Facebook up to 1080, but we don't have access to that currently.
Okay, so the next question is about the Instant Pot. So I wanted to bring mine out. I don't know if you... let's make some room over here.
Is your cooler out here?
It is. It's back here. It does have some bubble wrap in it, so I just need a second to take the bubble wrap out.
I'll take this off so you can see.
Okay.
Zoop.
I will probably have you lift that in there,
It's too heavy though.
I'm a little weakling today. We're just testing to see if it'll fit
Did you
in
leave
the
the
cooler.
soup in here?
No.
It's too tall.
That's pretty close. Okay, so you'll just need to make, if you're making the picnic in the park
2
cooler
inches.
for your Instant Pot, just make the front and the sides and the back 2 inches taller, which will be really easy. You just add 2 inches to the height right here and on the sides. 2 inches, that's
Just
all.
clean if I open it.
It's clean, yeah.
If you were to transfer it without the lid
Oh.
on, it will fit.
Okay.
But you probably want the lid if you're transferring in a, insulated bag.
Yeah, probably.
Just saying.
Yeah.
For rough, if you had to measure it, all you do have to take this and measure from this bottom part to here to add the height.
Well, you said 2 inches. So right?
I'd be more specific. Like I say, I'm a fact person.
Well,
So I would get a tape measure out.
Can we take my ruler and just
Yeah,
measure?
definitely.
I hate to give people misinformation on the
You
show.
want to hold the top? I'll pull this down. You hold this.
What am I doing?
Grab that.
Okay.
Pick it up.
Okay.
Put it on the counter.
Oh, this is what we're doing. Okay.
So, like this to my...
Oh, that's 4.5 inches.
See? That's why you don't guess.
Okay. Sorry. Not 2 inches. 4.5 inches if you want to put your Instant Pot in the picnic in the park cooler. Excellent. Debbie says, mini... Oh, I totally forgot about that. The Minikins Challenge
Oh,
for
man,
the...
it's only December 4th. Well, who's counting, right?
The Minikins Challenge for the month of December will be the binary pouch, which is the last one left, number 12. I better leave myself a note so I get that blog post up tomorrow. So sorry about that, but it's the binary pouch, which will be the December Minikins Challenge, and I'll also announce the winner in the Facebook group as soon as I get that blog post up.
There's multiple posts reiterating that right there as well.
Charity says we have smaller radios that would fit in the front pocket. Okay, good to know, and I see you're posting another one. Yep. I don't know what brand we use, but our 2-ways would fit in that pocket. Okay.
The same thing Lisa said, same as well.
Interesting. Okay, so it sounds like a bunch of people can confirm that the day trip cell phone wallet would fit a two-way radio in that front pocket. I understand Sarah's point because for those who are selling them, it gives us the option and makes it unique.
Did you announce the winner for November?
No, because I usually announce the winner from the previous month when I get the post ready for the current month. So I will announce the winner in the Facebook group when I get the December post up. Cheryl says, how do you get the wrinkles out of the pollen foam? I'm at the end of the bolt and it's wrinkly. So I don't know if your foam is sew-in. If it's a sew-in foam, you can just iron on top of it and it'll be fine. I'm guessing you're probably using fusible foam. So in that case, I would suggest just making sure it's taut before you attach your fabric. And then little by little, just as you're ironing, smooth it out. Because obviously if it's fusible, you can't fuse it first and then add your fabric. You have to take care of both at the same time. Oh, good question. Deborah says, do you have the 6 or the 8 quart? I have the 6 quart Instant Pot. I see Kim says the 3 quart will fit no problem. Yeah, sorry, I should have said. I completely forgot there were different sizes. I have the 6 quart.
That might come in handy.
Yes, that would come in handy.
Yes, someone said measure your own Instant Pot before you start.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Don't forget to add seam allowance. Well, you're not going to be putting a seam. It's going to be the same size panel.
Yeah, that's true.
Just going to be a bigger one.
Yeah. But yeah, I love my Instant Pot. My parents have one also. Some days I wonder if I should get 2 because I love making soup and it would just be so much faster if I could make 2 soups at once because we freeze a lot of the soup too.
We should probably get a larger one, the 2 more quarts.
Oh, you were saying that the other day, weren't you?
Yeah, I said
okay.
I would eat. Sarah makes really good chicken noodle soup, and I would eat it 5 days a week for lunch. And I know it's a lot healthier than my other options I've been eating. So, and it tastes good. I'm sure it'll get old after a while, but
yeah, but there's so many different soups that we could be making. Aleli says, where are the winners for the Minikins monthly challenge posted? So I add the winner's name to that particular post. So for example, October's challenge, as I choose the winner for October, I add the person's name to the post so everyone can see the winner. I also announce in the Facebook group. So for past months, you can just check any of the past months, except for November because I haven't done that one yet. But I always add the winner's name to the post. I do the same thing for Social Sunday just to be totally transparent so everyone can see the winners' names, even though I announce them on the live shows also for the Sunday show. But just so in case people ask or they want to double check in case they missed their name being called, I can always go back and reference, or anybody can, by checking the blog post to see who the winners were. Diana says, that's my problem, can't comment on YouTube.
Usually, most of the time, that's because you're not logged into your YouTube account. If you have a Gmail account, you automatically have a YouTube account. So if you don't, you probably don't have an account. That's why it's not letting you comment on it.
I also get an email once in a while from someone who's watching like on a Fire Stick or something and they can't comment. Is that because the nature of the Fire Stick, they can't be logged in?
Well, YouTube is not working on Fire Stick currently. You can use a browser, and that's probably why, because you have to once again log in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because Amazon and Google are arguing, so they're not sharing.
Oh, okay. Manuela says, where do you get the bubble wrap from in Canada, or what else can you put inside the bags and pouches to keep the shape? So what I pulled out of that picnic in the park cooler is just some pre-filled bubbles that I save from when I get packages. So like if I get something from Amazon or whatever, they often have that in there. I purchase shipping materials from eBay often. So like brown paper, which if you purchase cork, you know that we put a little bit of brown paper filler in there. We just crumple it up just to keep everything from getting crushed in the box. But you can order all that stuff on eBay or Amazon. I've ordered boxes and shipping supplies from there before. You can even find them in smaller amounts too. I usually order quite a lot, but I see listings for smaller amounts if you just need a few. And I feel like especially if you're selling your bags or pouches and shipping them, or even just displaying them at craft fairs, because I know a lot of people have been doing holiday craft marts. Even though the foam can stand up by itself in an empty bag, I feel like having the bubble wrap or those bubble pillows inside, especially when you're shipping it, just makes sure that it looks the same when it arrives as it did when it left the house, so it's not jostling around in the box and getting a little smushed. The air bubbles make it look really nice when the recipient gets it, or really nice when it's sitting on your craft fair table and it really doesn't weigh anything, so not heavy to bring a bunch of pouches with you to the craft fair. Nikki says, Sarah, you should make a cookbook from the recipes people sent you a few months ago. Oh, that's a really good idea. Kind of like that gift that I showed on the show on Sunday with the Quilt Guild, the String Along Quilt Guild that had their community cookbook where they assembled all the recipes. That's a really good idea too. Maybe, I wonder if it's possible to have some sort of, not a Google spreadsheet, but some sort of where people can automatically enter their recipes. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, sorry, I should have squeezed your
no,
arm
I hear
first.
you completely. What you're saying. You're talking about like a Google document. You can put your recipes everyone has access to, and if someone wants to add another one, they can. Is that what you're asking or saying?
Or something so we can collect it and distribute it or put
Google
it...
Documents you could do that. It's like Sheets, except it's a document.
Okay. Well, no, I was thinking just to collect them so that we could assemble them maybe in like one PDF document or something, like a booklet form to give to everybody. I don't know. Either option, I guess, would be okay.
Wouldn't just an email work to collect it?
Yeah, but then I would have to input them somehow if they
Copy and paste.
Yeah, okay.
Doesn't seem challenging to me. I don't know.
Lynn says, can anyone join the monthly challenges? Sure. So this year we had, for all of the 12 months, since there were 12 minikins in season 1, we had a different challenge every month. We're probably going to do the same thing next year. And I also have a contest planned for next year called Purse Palooza, and that's going to be open to any of my patterns. So far the monthly challenges have been for the minikins, but we're going to do a really big contest next year. I've been collecting prizes for this contest all year, actually. So I have some really good prizes collected, really expensive prizes. So I'm thinking maybe late spring of next year we'll do Purse Palooza. But that'll be open to any of my patterns. That should be a lot of fun.
What's the difference between a pressure cooker and Instapot?
An Instant Pot is a pressure cooker, actually. It's the nice thing about it is it's digital. So I do also have like an old school pressure cooker, which it basically seals in all the, what's it called? It vacuum seals the heat in. The nice thing about the Instant Pot is it actually will not let you open the lid until all the pressure has been released, so you can't accidentally... My grandma has told stories about, I think it was my grandma, people opening a pressure cooker lid too early and like contents exploding out. Well, the Instant Pot has a feature where it won't actually let you open the lid until all the pressure has been released. Because it's digital, it has different settings,
Sensors.
like for soup, and you can set low pressure, high pressure, the time. It's really nice. I love it. I super love it. Actually, Vanessa from Crafty Gemini first told me about the Instant Pot a few years ago. So I don't know if you watch Crafty Gemini on YouTube also, but that's where I got the recommendation from her originally. Diana says, if Sarah's writing a cookbook, she's not writing patterns. That's true. That's why I was suggesting the Google form or some sort of automated process. So
you can do it like we did the meetups, where it's like the sheets where they can go and fill it in and open, anyone can edit it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Did you answer the one, can anyone join on the monthly challenges for the...
I did.
And they also want to know, is there monthly challenges for season 2 Minikins?
There will be starting in January. There will be a January challenge for Minikin season 2. So there's 13 Minikins in season 2, so I'm going to have to figure that out somehow so we can do them all in the year of 2019. Maybe the last month or maybe one of the middle months will split half and half for 2 different patterns. Cheryl says, any templates for the Sublime bag? It is on my list for the next set of templates, but I don't know if we'll get any new templates in before the month is over or the year's over. So I would say look for that in January for the Sublime bag. Mary Grace says, when will your new sling bag be available? That will be available at the end of January. It will also be available with an optional video if you prefer having the video with your patterns. The sling backpack will be part of the next 4-pack video bundle at the end of January. And if you've been around for a while, you're familiar with the 4-pack video bundle. It's 4 PDF patterns, 4 brand new videos that we haven't released before. So all of those things for $40, or you can purchase them individually, or if you only want the PDF pattern, you don't want the video, you can just get the PDF pattern. Susan says, Purse-Palooza, please. I'm very excited about Purse-Palooza. I think it'll be a great contest. I have to add some more details into it, but yeah, the prizes are going to be really, really great.
Cool. I remember when she used to do them a while back, and I thought they were pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just fun to, I don't know, encourage people to sew and post their finished bags, because believe it or not, I feel like majority of the people, and this is not a criticism, this is just an observation, I feel like a majority of the people that make bags for my patterns don't ever post a photo anywhere online. And I know a lot of people do in the Facebook group, and of course this is your prerogative, but I feel like most people don't, which, you know, again, it's totally fine. Maybe you're busy, you don't have time to snap a photo, or you don't, you're not into taking photographs. But I think Purse-Palooza is a good opportunity to, for once, just, you know, make a bag, post a photo, let everyone ooh and ah over your finished bag, and there's going to be really awesome and expensive prizes. So I'm really excited about it. Carol says, I would like to give a huge shout out to Michelle Graham for heading up the So Sweetness Secret Santa. Thank you, Michelle. I think we had over 400 people participating in the Secret Santa. The deadline for shipping was December 1st, although many people shipped before that. And it's been a joy to see photographs of what everyone has received from their Secret Santa. And I did show what I received from my Secret Santa on the show this past Sunday. It's actually in the thumbnail for the show. So it was a beautiful Zeppelin pouch. I loved it. It came out amazing. Gail says you can saute and slow cook in an Instant Pot, can't in a pressure cooker. Oh, that's right. I love sauteing in my Instant Pot, especially when I'm making the chicken noodle soup. I saute the onions, celery, and the carrots in the pot beforehand for a few minutes, and then everything is melt in your mouth and nice and soft. Not too soft, but like the carrots are not crunchy or anything in the soup. It's really good. Jamie says, what size cording to use with a rolled handle for the Sublime bag? Maybe I'll do that on the show this Sunday. I had promised to do some sort of sewing demonstration on the rolled handle. Let me see if I can put that together for this Sunday. I often like using 5/32 of an inch Dritz cable cord, which I know that sounds like a weird measurement, but that's what they call their product. So let me take a look back at that, and I'll see about the tutorial for this Sunday. Donna says, what is a Purse-Palooza? So it was just a name that I came up with back in the day for some sort of contest regarding purses. And it's not just a contest, but we had extra things, extra information in Purse-Palooza also. It was like a month-long event. So I have that planned for, I'm thinking May, but I haven't 100% decided on a month yet. But yeah, Purse-Palooza is what the event is called. Allison says, do you prefer Instant Pot or Instapot? I didn't know there were two different things. I don't know. Let me check on mine.
What do you call it? Insta or instant?
I thought it was Instant Pot.
I was calling Instapot.
Oh.
Sounded cooler in my head.
Mine is Instant with a T at the end.
I probably just said it wrong, so made the confusion. Wouldn't have been the first time, and it's not going to be the last time.
Well, you don't use it, so I wouldn't expect
even if
you
I
to
did
know.
use it, I'll still call stuff the wrong, like that drop-in lining zipper edition.
Yeah, you call things by funny names sometimes, and I can't think of off the top of my head something that you, whenever you say it, you always say it totally wrong. I'm sure I'll think of it after the show's over tonight.
No, a lot of comments. No questions popping through that I've seen her.
Oh, I saw someone just mention at the top of the comment list. You were correct, Sarah. I hardly ever post my bags. And again, I didn't mention that as a criticism to anyone. It's perfectly fine if you don't want to post photos or share your finished bags. I just notice that happens often because sometimes someone will email me and they'll be like, yeah, they'll be asking me a question and they'll enclose a photograph and they'll be like, yeah, it's like this bag that I made for my mom last year. And it'll be a photo of a bag that they made from one of my patterns. And I don't recall ever seeing that bag before because we see a lot of photos come through in the Facebook group, but I can generally remember most of them. And I just have to make the assumption that it's because they didn't post a photo of their bag. So that's the only reason that it made me think of that. Montana Wendy says, will you two be allowed to participate? So Purse-Palooza will be on my website, on my blog. And it'll be the same type of entry format as I'm currently using for the Minikins Challenge of the Month. So people can just go ahead and post their photos. The only reason it's hosted on my blog is because for me that's the easiest format. Everyone's entry is in a big list and they're all little thumbnail photos and they're all numbered. So in regards to drawing prizes, having everything numbered and organized really nicely on my website is just, for me, the easiest format. Sarah, do I need to purchase the templates if I purchase a Minikins bundle? So the acrylic templates are just an extra that we offer, completely optional and not needed to make the patterns at all. They're just helpful if you're making a lot of the same bag. For instance, a lot of people make a lot of the same item for either gifts or craft fairs or things like that. And so the acrylic templates are just like I have my acrylic ruler right here. This is my quilting ruler, but it's about the same thickness, and it just helps because you can rotary cut all your pieces really quickly as opposed to using a paper pattern piece. But again, completely optional and not needed to make the Minikins patterns. All of the templates which you can print out are with the patterns in the Minikins bundle. So you'll have the pattern pieces along with the videos for the Minikins if you have purchased them or you plan on purchasing them. Kim says, how many steps will be in the sling bag approximate? I've already written the pattern and it's as it stands, unless I change a step, it's 39 steps. And there's a zipper pocket in the pattern, and generally if I have a zipper pocket, that takes 10 or 11 steps right off the bat just for that one zipper pocket. So in the scale of things, it's on the low side for pattern instruction length for me at least. Patsy says, do you ever sell your prototypes? I do not. I am a self-conscious sewer, and I know I shouldn't be, and I know it's a bad, I thought about this in the past. It's a bad, what's the word I'm trying to think of?
No clue. I have no clue.
It's a bad example to set because here I'm telling you all you can sew anything you can put your mind to and don't look at your flaws. And here I'm telling you I'm self-conscious about the bags that I sew. But what's a good way to put this? The best part of bag making for me is writing the instructions out. And I think the reason that I feel self-conscious of my finished product is because the product that I want to be proud of is my written instructions and the videos, and the finished bag. I'm not saying my finished bags look bad, but I certainly think so many of you make bags better than I do, but my work is fully focused on putting out the best patterns that I can, and so my focus is really on the pattern and not, of course the finished bag has to look nice, but my focus is on the work of writing the pattern. Does that make sense at all?
Yes.
Or, okay. I thought it might sound weird, but I don't know. Yeah, sorry. Sarah says, will you be getting the Clover Choco White Refill? I'm glad you mentioned that because we have tons of them here, and I think I never added them to the website. So I should probably do that because they've been sitting here for months already. Amber says, Sarah, can you design a bag with a hidden pocket? I want to hide my fabric money stash. By hidden pocket, do you mean like a zipper pocket but with like a little flap so you can't tell it's a pocket? Or what would be a hidden pocket? What would be a way to hide a pocket?
Maybe have it where two pieces of fabric hit each other, but there's no zip or button, maybe a magnetic snap. You don't see it.
Or like in
so
a
it
garment.
peels apart like a clam.
I know you're not familiar with garment patterns, but some of that, like dresses, have like invisible zippers where it's just like the fabric butted up, kind of like
something
that.
like I'm saying exactly.
Interesting. I'm not sure why I asked you because you don't like sew or
I'm just very technical,
use a bag.
and I have great ideas. So, of course, you'd ask me. Who else would you ask? I think that's it.
That you calling on the questions for tonight?
I think it was a great finish.
Okay, thank you everybody so much for being part of the chat and asking questions. I'm sorry if I did not get to all the questions live, but thank you again for joining us. And even if you're watching when we're not live, if you watch the recordings, thanks for checking in later in the week and watching the show.
Yep, thank you so much.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and I certainly feel like my spirits have jumped up since the start of the show. And I was telling you I was feeling a little zapped for energy. Now I'm like, I don't feel
let's
like
go party. Come on.
Yeah, let's go sew some stuff. Anyway, hope you have a great night, or wherever you are in the world, great afternoon. Have a great rest of the week and happy sewing. Bye everybody.
Bye everyone.